name's Cheven from the Purdue Extension Posey County office, and today I wanted to share with you a bullying lesson that you can use with either junior leaders or other youth groups like your local 4-H club, and explain, hopefully in a positive way, how empathy and assertiveness can work together to form a better relationship with everyone in the group, including those who bully. So this lesson today is from the Random Act of Kindness organization. It's called Walking in Someone Else's Shoes, and I'll have a link to it that goes along with this lesson. And it's a nice activity because you need this, a piece of paper with footprints on it and something for the kids to write with. You can preface it if you want with a little bit of introduction on taking a survey as to has anybody ever known a bully. But even if you don't do that, it's still effective because you're going to have kids cut this paper in half and give them a footprint and ask them to write an instance where they or someone they know has been bullied, and write about that incident on one side of the footprint. So when the kids do that, you can just have them, I usually have them wad them up and throw them in the middle of a circle. That way nobody knows whose is whose. And you can pick a couple people to stir them up if you want, depending on how many people you have there. And then when everybody has had a chance to write down a bullying incident, you can have the other kids in the groups go into the circle and grab a different piece of paper than the one that you wrote on. And it doesn't happen too often that someone grabs their own, but if they do, just wad it up, throw it back, get a different one. So the bullying incident, if you have concerns that somebody might write something that is hurtful or calling someone out in the group, if you're more comfortable with picking them up and reading each one and then divvying them out to make sure nobody has their own, that's fine too. That's another way to handle it. You will know your group best. But when you distribute them back out to the children, you can then ask them to read that footstep and think about walking in that person's shoes. How would they have responded? How should they not respond? And then, do they think they have a good solution to the problem? And looking at it from someone who is empathetic, seeing how someone else is being treated, but also standing up for that person. Because if you leave it to go untreated, the person that this happened to, this could very well happen to you next. That's a little bit that I always explain to the kids that I'm working with. And then give them time. Usually 5 minutes is plenty of time for them to write a solution on the back side of the footprint. And then how you go about discussion from there, whether the group, with really young kids it doesn't seem to matter, but the older they get, the more they want to protect their privacy. So I would encourage you with the older youth to pick them all back up, and then you can either distribute them again and have them either work with a partner or even in small groups and talk about the discussion of whether the solution and the problem was handled empathetically, or you can read through and just highlight a couple answers to see what the group thinks and how to best approach that solution so that everybody involved comes to a good solution, not just a punishment for the bully, which is what we spend a lot of time talking about with the younger youth. So I hope this helps. I hope you use it. It's a good, quick lesson. Like I said, make some footprint copies, and you don't even have to have these. You can just have a scrap piece of paper and a writing utensil, and as long as the group is a good, trusting environment, there's usually a lot of good conversation that comes from it. So thanks for joining me.